Are you a coach who started a business and you are having some problem trying to find your first couple of clients? Well, I got you because today I'm going to be sharing with you how to get clients even when you're just starting your coaching business. And I'm going to be sharing my two favorite methods of getting clients the simplest way. All right. So let's stay tuned. All right, all right. Hello, everyone. What's up? What's up? I don't know about you guys, but I get so excited for these trainings every single Thursday. I'm sitting here in front of my computer, just like waiting, looking at the time, and like want to make sure I click to make sure I go live right at the exact time. Because I, guys, have so much to share today that I don't want y'all to miss this at all. So, as you guys are coming in, go ahead and say hi to me so I can say hey back to you. If you know of anybody who is interested and need to hear this information, y'all know what to do. Sharing is caring because y'all know we don't want to keep this to ourselves. We're not one of those kind of people, are we? Here, see, there we go. And then I come back and write my captions and everything I need to do that. Okay, so look, guys, today we're going to be talking about how to get some clients. How to get some clients when you're first starting your coaching business because I've been there. I've been in that same boat with you. All right. Sharon says, I'm so ready for this. I binge watching all your videos so much. Great information. Thank you so much. Love you. So okay, so look, guys, if this is your first time seeing my face in your feed, I am Elise Michelle. I am a marketing coach for coaches, and I help coaches just like you grow and market your coaching business the simplest way possible. All right. I'm also the founder of the Coaching Business Simplified, which is a monthly membership group coaching program for coaches who want to go from being just a coach to a CEO running a business, a 4 to 5 figure, 6 figure business, wherever they fit in their income. So I'm so glad to have you guys here with me. Look, let me get started into this. I don't want to waste your time. Hola, 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 hola. I'm assuming that's Rosa. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Look, is this you? You're starting your coaching business, but you don't know how to get clients. That was me for sure, right? And it can be tough to start out. I struggled, like struggle bus. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I struggled with this a lot, trying to get my clients, thinking that I needed to do it this way, that way, this way, and this way. But then I know I got you. I figured this out. Okay. So most people give up before they even start because they don't know or have a clear plan for finding their first few paying clients. When you don't have a plan, you just like you just give up. You don't know what to do. You are like struggling because you hear a little bit of people saying this and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you just don't know how to mix it together. Well, look, I got you because I broke this down. I broke it down. I broke it down for you. Okay, so today I'm going to share and show you how to get clients when you're just starting your coaching business. You're gonna learn two of my favorite methods for getting paid clients. So you let me know if you are ready for this. Let me know if you're ready to learn my two favorite methods for getting clients. It's my two favorite. Yes, my two favorite. All right. So just in case you have forgotten or have not already, I need for you to go ahead and download that 30-day launch plan. This is a great step-by-step launch plan to help you launch your coaching business. Even if you are just starting out, or even if you've been at it for a little while and you're relaunching a new course, a new program, a new series, a podcast, you can use this same 30-day launch plan for all of that. It's launching new things, getting in front of people. Download it, go to alisemichelle.com/1 month and or look for the link down in the description. All right, so we ready, 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 ready. Yes, yes, love it, love it. All right, so look, here's what we're going to do. I want you to grab your pen and I want you to get your notebook paper because I'm going to be sharing some stuff. Now, really, I am. I'm going to be sharing some stuff. I'm going to be giving you examples of how I've done it. I'm going to actually give you examples from past posts that I've done some years back. And I want you to take some notes. Okay. I want you to either take some screenshots because I'm gonna break this method down to you as much as I possibly can during this presentation. But let me just be real honest. Let me give you some face here. I can only do but so much online. The key thing is if you want a little bit more hand holding, if you want a little bit more explanation of how it works and fits into what you are doing and your business and your lifestyle, then you definitely got to join the Coaching Business Simplified because that's where everything happens. Everything happens in the co working sessions, everything happens inside the Facebook group, all the resources that you need to grow your business, all of that happens. Okay. So if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely the link or the information about the club is going to be in the description. So, put that on your put it on the note on that little notebook on the side note. Like, let me go check out this club thing. Okay. Hello, D. Hello. Hello, Pam. Coach Business Simplify is the truth. Y'all heard it from Pam. So definitely check that out. Okay. So you can go check that out by going to alisemichelle.com/7430. And that allows you to join the club for the first 30 days for $7. Okay. Can't beat that. All right. So that's enough of me talking. Y'all got your notes, you got your paper. Hello, Nelly. Nice to have you here with me. All right. So here's the first method. This is the first method called the discovery call. Now, you probably have heard it called strategy session, a free coaching call. But in this method, I call it the discovery call. This is where you get someone on the phone with you and you talk to them, help them with their problems, and then you move them to the next level. Okay. So I recommend the discovery call when you don't have any clients at all, you are not really clear about what your people are struggling with. Like you don't know the verbiage that they're using. I always tell my people this is the fastest way to the cash. Fastest way. It does take a little of your time. Now, I'm just being real honest with you, but I feel like if you're new to this game, the discovery call method is the best way. Now, I do understand you've got coaches out there that are talking about that you need to do a group coaching program and then you need to sell them in a high end program. That's great. That's really good idea. But if you're really new to the marketing, to the business, right, to all of this online thing, I think getting on the phone is the game changer. It was for me. So I'm going to break this method down to you and show you what I actually did to make myself get my first three clients in the like within a month, like in less than 30 days, I got my first three clients, okay, using this exact method. All right. Okay. Let me get back to this. All right. So here's what it is. Why this method? If you have no paid clients, then you want to do this method. You want to try this method out. This is the simplest thing to start. You don't need a website. You're not going to need anything fancy to get this started. Okay. And it gives that personal touch that a lot of programs don't. Sometimes we go through like just posting and we don't actually get to talk to the people. So this gives that personal touch and people really like that eye to eye contact when especially if you're doing your discovery call on like on video chat. They like that eye to eye. This is a great way to build a no like trust factor, right? Especially if you're building your brand for the first time online. And then you actually get to hear what they're saying. A lot of times we get all in our professionalism, right? And we start using acronyms and words that are just part of our profession. Well, everyone is not part of what we do. Everyone doesn't understand marketing, right? If that was the case, y'all really wouldn't need me. So I have to sort of use the language that you're using. I can use word tripwire. I can talk about lead magnets. I can talk about, fun. I can say all those type of words like your tier one, all this kind of stuff, but it means nothing to you if you haven't been in the industry for a while. So I have to get on the phone every once in a while, and I still do this method. Like literally, I still do this method. Still have to get on the phone to start to listen and hear the words that you're using so that I can start using those words as well as I'm explaining to you how to get the results you need. So, this really getting on the phone is awesome. And again, like I said, I still do this when I am introducing a new program or I am trying to refill up I'm taking on new clients or something like that. So, I still get on the phone. This method still works for me. Right. Okay. So let's go through the first steps. Now, how does this work? Get your notes out. Get your notes. Okay. How does this work? So the first thing it starts off with is a story. You have to share your story. You want to share your story. You want to share where you were, the before, right? And you want to talk about how did you get through your problems in this post. So right now, guys, I'm gonna give you a full screen on this. Let me open up my phone so I can see it better. I can't really see it as big as you guys can. Oh, hold on. Oh, my phone acting all funny with me today. Don't be acting funny. Okay, so as you can see, this post happened about 6 years ago. So I'm really giving y'all screenshots of what I did 6 years ago. And I post this story about me getting laid off or being just angry about being laid off. Well, being fired. It wasn't even laid off. I was fired from the position. Let's get real there. Okay. And so I was angry about this situation. I posted, I talked about it. I talked about how I felt. Hello, Felicia. And I wrote this all in the post. And at the end, I gave a call to action. Okay. So right now you see that there's a screenshot of a photo of me. Now it looks like it was a video. It actually wasn't a video. I took a screenshot of my video of me talking about it. So this is a way you can do it with a photo or a selfie of yourself and a post that is sharing your story and then making a call to action for them to schedule a strategy session with you, right? So that link would take them to my calendar. Now, later on, I got a little fancy. I got a little bit more fancy, okay? And I actually sent people to an application. But I didn't start off like that now, y'all. I actually sent them to my calendar. I used the wasn't Calendly at that time. I think it was like Audacity or something like that. That's what I used at first, and I sent them right to the calendar. And I had scheduled days. Like I would actually do strategy sessions one day during the week that I didn't feel like I was busy. And I'm be honest, I think that was on a Saturday, like Saturday in the morning, because I work, full time during this time. But that's how I started, literally. A story, post, and then a call to action. So I did a post, like a selfie picture of myself. I did this in video, like doing live videos, and I talked about it was basically the same exact thing that I posted here. I did in video, and then I invited them for a strategy session so that they can get on my calendar. That's what I did. Okay. Hello, Felicia. If I didn't say hey to you already. All right. Then I got them on the call. So I got them on the call. At this time, 6 years ago, I don't even think Zoom existed, to be honest. Or I didn't know Zoom existed. And I did a conference call. So I was using 1-800 free conference call. I think that's the thing, right? For you, I recommend using Zoom. Being able to see the person, you seeing them and them seeing you is powerful. So I got them on a call and I followed a script, a word for word script. Now, sometimes this makes people cringe. Now, I do have a little bit of sales experience, just a tad bit, just a tad little bit of sales experience. Okay. I was like a customer service rep for a photography studio, and they had a script that you would use when you call people. And I realized when I used the script is when I actually closed people. So I took that thought process into when I started doing my discovery calls. Okay, I followed a script, and that script walked me through step by step. I asked a question of the person on the phone, and then they gave me the follow up. I wrote my notes. I asked the next question. Right. So if you feel a little like, oh, you think the script is sleazy, or you feel like you're going to be very robotic with it, then I tell people to practice. Practice with your friend, your significant other, or just go through it pretending you are the person. Like go back and forth, like have a conversation, right? With yourself using the script. Because let me tell you guys, the script was powerful. Yes, I was like, this ain't gonna work. People gonna feel like I'm using this script. I mean, I had all those little negative things, but I say, you know what? I can't say it doesn't work unless I try. I tried, it worked. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you what I did once I went through the script. So let me know if you guys have if you have a script like this, if someone has shared a script like this with you, if you are interested in getting this script, then let me know that as well. Okay. If you don't have one, if you're interested in getting this script, my coach gave me this when I first started, right? And yes, Sharon says she needs the script. Awesome, awesome. And Sharon, this is one thing that I'm really thinking about. I did a training some years ago called Get Three Paying Clients in 10 Days. 10 days to three paying clients, something like that, right? And the training is old. It was old. Yes, Sharon. Natalie is interested. Felicia, yes, I would like. Great, right, great. So if you guys are interested in that, I send y'all the script, right? I upload it to my digital store. Y'all know my digital store is like under $7. But anyway, I upload it there. But I want to really do a training walking you through all of this thing because I can't cover but so much. Like I can't cover all of like I want to give y'all all my social media posts. I want to give you the scripts. I want to give you the calendar, what I said, the emails, all of that. So if that's something that you want and you interested in, let me know about that too because I can do a workshop walking you through my 10 days to three paying clients. I think that was the name of the program. Okay. All right. So look, all right. So I followed this script. I got on the call. I followed the script. Okay. Oh, Sharon, you're so welcome. Awesome. Great, 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 great. Okay. All right. And then I gave the person action steps. Now, this is where I sort of change things up because typically, let me go back to the script. Typically, once you go through the script, you tell the person about your offer. You tell them what you have to offer. So you do this the sales pitch on the script. When you get them on a call, you go through the script, you go ahead and pitch your offer. I did not do that. I did a little twist, right? And once I do the training with you, I can share that kind of twist. But I'm gonna share with you here. I'm not gonna hold it, to myself. But what I did was I told them, I said, look, I do have a program for you that I think it would be wonderful for you, right? But what I want to do, and this is what I would say to them. So say the person was her name was Sally, right? I would say, Sally, look, I have a program I think you'll be great for, but this is what I really want you to do. Here are two steps or three steps that I want you to do first. Implement these steps first. And we're going to get on a call next week or tomorrow. If I was really fancy, I would say tomorrow, right? Especially if the steps were simple. But if the steps I knew took a little time and I, listened to her, I know maybe her schedule was a little busy. I might given her like 3 or 4 days to work on the steps, right? So I would give her these action steps to work on. And I will immediately before I got off that call, I would schedule a follow-up call with her. I will put her on on my calendar and she will put me on her calendar. And I will make sure to ask her, is this a great time to have this follow-up call with you? Because I knew during that follow-up call, I was going to pitch my offer. Okay. But I gave her these action steps because I wanted to know if she would implement what I was giving her. Because if she couldn't implement what I was giving her in those first couple of days, then I knew that she might not be a really good candidate for coaching. Because I don't know, guys, y'all see, I give you action. Like I give you strategies and I give you steps. I'm not a person who's going to get on the phone with you and him and ha with you. I'm not going to give you the rah rah. I'm about, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Here's my suggestion. Let's do this, 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 and this. And I'm going to give you the steps. Do this first. Work on this for 2 or 3 days. Work on this in the next couple of days. I'm going to put it in the calendar for you. And I'm going to be sending you texts with reminders to let you know, like, did you do this? Do you have questions? Like, I'm going to be following up like we besties because that's what happens, right? We become business besties. And so when I give that person the action steps, I'm checking to see if they can do them. And when I get on the follow up call with them and they tell me they didn't do it, I'm going to ask why. Why, what happened? How far did you get? They might say they had technical issues. But if they say they got busy or they forgot, then it's like a ding, ding, ding. They're not really serious about this. So, what I'm going to do, I'm still going to pitch an offer, right? But in the back pocket of my services, I tend to have two offers, right? I tend to have two offers. I know I'm just like going through this fast, right? Because I'm like crazy about this stuff, right? I typically have two offers, right? I have my high end offer that might be to sell people into my one on one coaching program, or if I had a group coaching program. But the second offer might be a course or some low dollar offer to that person, especially if that person did not follow through on my action steps. Okay. Hey, Stephanie. So I'm gonna say Sally. Sally says to me, "Oh, Elise, I didn't get a chance to do this. So and so, this happened and this happened." I'm like, "Oh, you know what, Sally? That is, I totally understand things get in the way." And I would say, "Look, Sally, I know that you have a really busy schedule, and I know things might get in the way. My coaching program might not be a great fit for you right now because it's a very intense. I give you the action steps, and if you want the results that you want, you have to really be committed." And I would say, I think my course that I have would be perfect for you. It is self-paced. It allows you to work on your own. You can, do a little bit here. You can work in the middle of the night, whatever. And then I would say to her, how does that sound? And I would not say anything else. I will wait for Sally to respond to what I said. Y'all hear that? Now I'm dropping some jewels on y'all today. I'm dropping some jewels. And what will happen during that conversation? Sally does not feel like one that I am just throwing her aside. Sally doesn't also feel like I'm just there to pitch her an offer either. Now, again, the business side of me, the job is to get clients because if I don't get clients, I don't make no money. I don't make my income goes. I don't live the perfect life that I feel like I need to be living. So I'm being real too, but I'm also being like authentic about the way I do my sales. Okay. And so Sally doesn't feel like I've pitched her something that she really doesn't need. And I don't feel bad that I tried to pitch her something when I knew that this person was not the right fit. So I tend to have two offers. Okay. A high end offer, whatever your high end offer is, right? Doesn't have to be 5,000, 20,000, whatever your high end offer is. And I have a low dollar offer. You don't necessarily have to have a course, you can have an ebook. Maybe you got a book that's on your website and you say, "Hey, I think Sally, you might want to just read this book." Maybe you don't have either one, and maybe you have another resource that you think Sally should take or read before she actually becomes a client of yours. Now, what this does again is sets up a really great environment and experience for Sally to come back. Because when I've done this before, the client comes back in less than a month and say, "Hey, Lisa, I need for us to work together. Like I can't do this on my own," or "I'm ready." Okay. Sometimes it's taken a whole year for this person I talked to 1 year ago to come back around and say, "I'm ready to work with you." Because I set the stage and created a trustworthy experience for her when we got on the phone. Now, am I making sense? Is this possible? Y'all see the power in this, right? Let me know if I'm making sense. I'm gonna take a little sweet. I'm dropping so many jewels right now. My hair just is getting all wild. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Yes, Felicia said yes. Yes. I'm gonna say this is Rosa, my Facebook user. She's saying yes, I'm making a lot of sense. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So here's the success secrets to the discovery call. Now I gave y'all most of the secrets anyway. Rosa says I'm dropping nuggets, gold nuggets, right? 24 karat nuggets, Rosa. So here are the success secrets to the discovery call. More calls equal more clients. Now, Pam is really big about talking about the numbers. Numbers are important. It's a numbers game. So the more people you can get on the call, the more chance you're going to get more clients. Now, if you're trying to do one call a week or one call a month, that's not going to get you to three clients in a couple of weeks like it did for me. Now, I'm just being real. I'm not about the hustling mentality, but if you really want to get to the bag or the money or whatever, the stacks or whatever, what they call, what the millenniums are saying, right? The more calls, the more you're going to get to clients. Okay. But it's okay if you do one strategy session a week or a month. It's okay. It's the process. So once you get comfortable using the script, getting on the call, scheduling, all of those little things behind the scenes, then you can ramp it up. Okay. All right. So the other thing is to have two offers. Have two offers for you. Have something to offer that person who might cannot sign up for your high end offer. Again, it doesn't always, you don't have to have a course ready. If you don't have one ready, it's fine because if you're just starting out, you ain't really got one anyway. But have some other resources. Maybe there's a book that you like that really helped you, or maybe it's people that you followed that really help you. Because even though you might be sending people to something else that is not yours or to somebody else, that person still is going to remember you as a person who was given. Y'all, this is like, I know this is like different. I know this is not what people are telling you, but I'm just really just being me. Like y'all know I'm an introvert. I I'm and I always want to leave. I want to leave the world and good and with with good vibes, right? And I don't want people to feel like I'm always like, give me your money. I want your, I don't want that. So I try to make sure no matter what, that when you have a conversation with me, you're gonna leave with something to make your life better. Like guaranteed. Like it's just guaranteed. That's what how I am, right? Pam says 10 to 12 solid calls could equal three new clients depending on closing ratio, right? So my closing ratio is, and that's our Pam, right? So Pam is our sales expert. My closing ratio is between about 40%. So I close about for every four calls, I at least get one person to schedule. Now, sometimes that's even higher. Like if I'm like on my game and I am going live every week and I'm actually maybe sending DMs, right? That's probably when I really need the money. I'm just, again, I'm being real honest with you. Okay. I might be on my game a little better, but typically out of every 2 to 3 calls, I'm going to close one of those people. And one month I closed everyone that I got on the phone with. And that's because I set the presence, right? I had most of those people I had talked to maybe 2 months ago, and I did a follow-up with them and they were ready. Okay. So again, set the foundation and that you can always go back to. All right. So I'm talking a lot. Let me get through these success secrets. All right. Follow up email sequence. So if I'm going to follow up with her, I'm going to follow up with her with emails as well. I'm going to follow up with her. And because I was just starting out, I didn't have this fancy system, y'all. I really didn't. I'm just telling you, so you can be ahead of the game. My follow up system really was sending out an email to the person, right, to remind them about the follow up. It was sending text messages out to say, "Hey, God, how things going? I'm really excited about our call or our follow up call coming up, tomorrow or the next 2 days." That's my follow up. Okay. Because I couldn't allow that person to forget about me. The goal was to get my three clients. So I needed to be fresh on their minds. Okay. So have some type of follow up sequence. I'll call it the email sequence. And then build your brand. Oh my gosh. This is really, really important. A lot of times we try to hop online and we want to immediately start selling our products and services, but no one knows who we are. So even if you don't have the perfect coaching program, maybe you ain't even created your coaching program. Maybe you in somebody else's program and they walking you through creating your signature coaching program. That's great. That's awesome. But that should not stop you from showing up online. You still need to be building your brand. I've been doing this for years and I still show up online. You would think because I've gotten my clients, I've built my membership that I shouldn't have to do this. Yeah, I do. Because people's memories are short. They will forget about you in a heartbeat. So as you are building the boat or building the ship or the plane, you need to be still in front of people so people know that you exist. So you don't have to have offers. You can just be giving value. So building your brand is essential to continue to be in front of people. It's essential to know that people know that you exist. So that when you do have this offer ready, it's not you're not going to feel like you did all this work behind the scenes and no one is buying, right? You put the foundation, you put the things in place first so that you can be ready to make the sale later or for people to have strategy call. Look, y'all, if you show up like every other day or once a week, doing whatever, podcasts and videos, people are going to start reaching out to you before you even have an offer ready. All right. So let me get off my soapbox. I ain't going to preach today. I said I wasn't going to preach today. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So let's move on to method number 2. Now, before I do that, though, I do need to ask, how am I doing? How am I? Do y'all feel like I'm giving y'all value today? I just stop right here? Would you be good with me just sharing method number 1? But let me know if I'm giving you some value. Let me know because yes, indeed. Pam said yes, indeed. Yes, yes. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Let's go on to a method number 2. Method number 2, D says, as always, always, right? Sharon says, this is excellent. Yes, if no more, if info comes, this is all right. Rosa says, we need more. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. All right. So, method number 2 is the invite only event. Now, I say this a lot. I like to say it. And the invite only event means like a webinar. You invite someone to a webinar, but they have to give you their name and email before they can get this invite link. So this could be webinar, it can be a summit, it can be a teleseminar, it can be a master class, but it's invite only. They have to give you their name and email before they get the link. Okay, that's key. So this is method number 2. I recommend this method when you have an audience already. So that's why this is essential for you to be building your brand. Even if you don't have a product yet, build that brand. Show people that you know what you know, because it's really hard to invite people who don't know you. It's like inviting them to your house. They're like, you don't know me. I don't know you. You might try to kill me. That's the same thing. So you want to already have an audience, people who already know you, they like you. They build this invite only event is an opportunity for you to build their trust. So know that. So this is again not for the person who is just starting out on social media. However, if you have a large like Rolodex of contacts in your phone, you can send out an invite to them in a text message, but they still need to opt in. Okay. All right. Now that I've said that, let's move on. Okay. So, why this method? The invite only method is great for selling higher offers to more people. You can sell more high end offers during an invite only event. It also showcases your knowledge because they get to spend some quality time with you doing these invite only events. You only want to share one offer though. Only one offer, because if you try to give people too many offers, they get confused and they don't choose any offer because they don't know. So you give them one, make that offer sweet that they can't say no to, then it's easy for them to do. So it's like your offer. You know how people like, if you ask them a question, it's better to ask yes or no questions because you'll get further along with people with yes or no questions. Well, that's what you want your offer to be. You want it to be a yes or no, not a maybe or let me check and see for my husband because there's two choices. You want yes or no for them to move faster, right? And the invite only allows you to present to a bigger audience. And I recommend that you have a bigger audience. And let me say this because I don't want y'all to think a bigger audience means millions of people or thousands of people or 10,000s of people. Just bigger than where you started. Okay. So if you were fresh, new on social media, and now you got 100 people that follow you or 100 friends on your page or whatever, that is an audience for you. Okay. So you want to at least have some type of audience, a bigger audience. If it's 50 people, that's great. But for some of you, you guys have collected and have a lot of contacts already. And you can really do an invite only event because of the contacts that you have in your phone already in your email system, like, Gmail or whatever. You could send out an email inviting people. Okay. You don't, I mean, you playing in a different ball game because you build up that network already. Okay. And it's okay to send text messages. It really is because remember, we're not just coaches. We are coaches building a business. We are CEO coaches. And a CEO would say, how do I get this in front of the most amount of people in the easiest and the simplest way? And if you got text, you can text a couple of friends to do that. Okay. To make that happen. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. All right. So, how does this work? Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready for me to share how this works? Okay. I wish I could sing, but I can't. All right, so here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I am still going to do and invite people from my social media profile. I'm also going to send an email. So this was a post that I did 5 years ago. Oh, so real deal. I share with them my invite only event. And this was how to market your business on Facebook in 10 minutes a day. This was a free training. And at the end of this training, I sold people into my Be Your Own Boss training. Okay. Now, in this training, as you guys can see, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more face here. I mean, less face so y'all can see it big. I was teaching a lot of things. I would not recommend you teach all these things. That's just too much. I don't know what I was thinking about. But again, you learn, right? You learn. And to know that because this training was like 2 hours long, which is too long, way too long. Y'all don't need to do that, right? But this is the post that I did. I did an invite only. I did a call to action for them to join this free training with me. And y'all know what? I think this was a conference call. I did not. Now that I look at it, my memory, I don't I didn't have any slides. I did it on free conference call because this is one of the trainings. I have an audio packet. It was a bundle, 10 extra bundle, and this was one of the calls that I used in that bundle. So I did not do slides, a webinar. This was a conference call. Okay. And you can still do conference call. That's such, that's the thing about being a little different. Think about that. If you don't have slides and you really want to try this out quickly, then just do conference call. No one can see your notes. You can read off it. I mean, it's just so much easier. But anyway, okay, we're gonna move on. All right, so I would invite, I would give them a call to action, and then once they showed up for my training, now this is not from that training. This is something different. I would teach and I would share my story as well, and I would teach my heart out using the perfect webinar script. I can get my words out. The perfect webinar script is from, I wish I came up with it, but I didn't. It comes from Russell Brunson. I know you guys hear me talk about this guy all the time. This is not the book, but I don't know where my expert secrets book is. But Russell, this person right here, he has a book called The Expert Secret, and he shares the perfect webinar script in that book. Okay. Now, I ain't afraid to share other people with you, but I went through his training. I actually went through his perfect webinar training, but he shares it in the book. In his training, he just goes in a lot more deep dive and teach you how to do the closes throughout the presentation, etc. But that's what I did. Okay, that's what I did. I shared my story and I taught. Okay, using the perfect webinar script. Then I pitched my offer. Now, look, let me just say this. Pitching your offer after doing this type of training can be very scary because you immediately think that as soon as you go into the pitch, people are going to fall off. And sometimes they do, and sometimes you don't. Now, but what I've learned in over the several years that I've been doing this, that if you mention at the beginning of your presentation, now this is not something that Russell teaches in the perfect webinar script. In the perfect webinar script, he doesn't even say this. But from my experience, this is what I've learned is that if you tell the people that you have an offer that will be made at the end of the presentation and that they want to stay to the end to hear it, because it's a great deal, then they will not feel like it's a straight sales pitch. Okay. That's just a little tweak I learned from closing from, I don't know who I learned that from, but I learned that from somebody else. Okay. So this can be very nervous kind of feeling. But let me just tell you from experience again, when you get to the pitch offer, continue with the same energy that you have when it comes to when you were teaching, because you'll be able to hear the difference in the voice, right? So if I was pitching my coaching business simplified, y'all hear the energy right now, but as soon as I get to the sales pitch, I might be like, okay guys, here's my sales pitch, here's what I'm going to share with you, we're going to talk about the coaching business simple, my volume changes, my energy changes. So the only way to keep that energy up is to be extra. Is to be even extra, more extra than you're normally used to doing, right? But also the practice. The more you do this, the better it gets, right? So I pitch my offer, I break it down, I give them a special offer, I answer questions during this time. And here's another secret. Let me share my screen with you. Is that although some people might not ask me questions, I have be prepared questions already. So, some people are nervous and they don't say nothing. They don't ask you questions over to the side. So I say, typically, here are some of the questions that I get about my program. So I have about 4 to 5 questions already prepared that I answer during this time. I also have a timer on the slide to let them know that this $97 offer is only available for the first 15 minutes, especially if I got some other offers or bonuses, right? I would say that this offer is only available for 15 minutes. And then when I send them emails, follow-up emails, then the bonus that they could have gotten during this 15 minutes is no longer available, right? So you want to stick to whatever you say in the presentation. So I give them this time span to um to buy or go ahead and purchase during this time or answer questions. Now, if I have a freebie at the end, after I've done my pitch, I've answered questions, then I share the slide that here's the freebie that you guys, been waiting for. Okay. So does that make sense so far? Before I go into my success secrets, let me know if y'all have questions so far about what I've covered. These are the two of my favorite methods that I've worked with. When I started doing invite only events, my conversion rates eventually started to go down because I didn't have the confidence when I first started, right? But the more I did them, because I'm a person like, look, I ain't gonna let you beat me. Like I'm a really like big competition with myself. And I got better at this. So this offer that you see was a $97 offer that I did with and one of my friends. She is a book author and I had wrote a course about authoring a book, and so I did this training with her and she was selling it for $97. Okay, so but yours can be higher than that, so don't let that price point $97 like, oh, I can't, that's cheap. Yeah, it was cheap because that was a different offer, right? I just had to find the slide. Okay. And I literally, if I was doing a invite only, I would sell my membership the same way. Okay, this is extra because I just thought about this. If I did an invite only event, knowing that I was going to pitch my offer, right, my membership, I would not pitch the $47 a month. I would pitch a total different offer that doesn't exist anywhere on my website. So I might pitch like a quarterly plan. Like, hey, you can sign up today, you can pay for the quarter, and you get it for this price, right? So the quarter discount will be cheaper than, if they went month to month, but it will be less expensive if they pay for the whole year. So I might do a quarterly special, do an invite only event, pitch my membership and say, pay for the quarter and maybe throw in a couple of more bonuses and put a time limit on it. Okay. That was just extra. I just downloaded that just in case you had that question. Okay. So what are my best practices for this? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got a little bit more. Okay. So after I pitch the offer, I would do a follow up and I would send the replay to their emails. Okay. I will send the replay like, hey, if you missed the training, but I will only send the replay out to people who opted in to watch the invite only event. Okay. I will send out the replay for them. And I will also tell them in the PS that I made a special offer. And then I will give them the link to the special offer. And then for the next follow up days, I will send out the Gain Logic Fear email. Okay, these are the sales emails that I've talked about in so many other trainings. Okay. But these will be the emails that I will send out. The first email will be, hey, watch the replay. I made a special offer pitch. And then I will follow up with the logic email. And then the last email, which is the fear email. On this graphic, you see it as the objections. The second email will be your urgency, which is the logic one. And then the third one is the fear email, which is like, hey, you better get this because it's gone. Right. So that would be how I would do the event only. Okay. Hope y'all been taking screenshots of this. All right. So the success secrets to the invite only event. Don't rush into this. If you are not ready for this, don't rush into this. I do not recommend this for the faint hearted because it takes a lot of freaking work to do this. You got to create the slides, you got to create the offer. You got, and these slides, y'all, it ain't 10 slides, it's like 30 slides. Literally, it's a lot you have to do. You got to put in closes, you got to practice the presentation. Then you got to find the platform. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but I'm just giving you the real about it. Okay. But don't rush into this if you're not ready for it. I would say go back to method number one. Go back to method number one, okay? Pam says, oh my goodness, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Go back to method number one, perfect that, get good at that, and then spend some time. Maybe hire someone to do the slides for you. That's what I would do. If I know what I know now, I would just hire someone to do the slides for me. Okay. All right. Do them live. Okay. Once you do create the slides, a lot of times what happens, because this was me, I thought I knew better, right? I thought I was like, I know how to do this. I didn't done this one time that I was just going to put it on evergreen. Evergreen means that it's just automatic and people just watch it on their own. I recommend that you do this live because, and you do it live until you get conversions. And what I mean by conversions is mean people buy your offer from the live. If you don't get anyone to buy, or if you say at the end, maybe schedule a session with you, I don't know. If no one takes your offer at the end when you do this webinar the first time, then you continue to do it live until you get people to buy from the live webinar or event. Yeah, I'm gonna pause right there because that's a hard pill to swallow. Because we immediately want to go and say, hey, I'm just going to send to link to the people and then they can watch it on their own. I know because I've been there. I just thought that was just a lazy me saying that. That's why I don't recommend doing this for the faint hearted because you need to do it live. Matter of fact, my coach recommended me doing this live every single week until I got to the conversion rate or the goal that I wanted. I didn't do that. I was hard headed. I was hard headed. And it took me 2 years to figure out that I needed to do it live. And once I did it live, then I started getting conversions. Literally, honestly, I'm gonna give y'all some little face. That slide that I shared with you guys, I'm gonna go back right here. This is where I started doing it live, like every month. I didn't do it every week because I was still working full time, but I did it every month, and I got really good at this. If I got 10 people to show up, 5 people were going to buy the offer. Now, maybe because the offer was $97, but I was going to at least every month, I was going to get 5 people to buy it. And then when my girlfriend came in on it and she wanted me to do the presentation, she brought in about 20 people and we closed 15 people that day. But because I was doing it, like I was going through this training, like I knew it like the back of my hand. And that's what you want to get when you start doing invite only events. Okay. So again, this is not for the lighthearted. I'm just being real with you. Okay. Just being just as honest as possible with you. Pam says, I was going to say invite only is not for the faint of heart. Yes, that's probably what I meant to say for the faint of heart. I tell metaphors or I tell 'em, it's not for the faint heart at all. Mm-mm, not at all. Not for the lazy either. All right, so keep going. If y'all didn't hear anything from what I said, you have to keep going. Okay, have to keep going. And then you have to have also a follow-up email sequence, okay? Because you put that hard work in, one time is not enough. Like you want people to see this training. Okay, so the replay is really what's on automation, right? But you want to have that buy button. You want to make sure they know that there was an offer at the end. And then you go back and you start and you invite them again. All this makes sense if you guys buy the book, The Expert Secret, right? I should be getting a commission from this because I already always recommend that book. But I do recommend that book. I'm sorry, Felicia, you can come back and watch it. But I do recommend the book when for you to sort of understand all the moving pieces to building a business or building a coaching brand online. The book is great, like absolutely fabulous. Okay. So email sequence. So look, let's do a recap. But before I do that, let me know, do y'all have any questions about what I talked about today? Because although I shared only two methods, I I shared a lot. Like I really shared a lot. And what I taught today could literally be my invite only event. It could be. And I could pitch at the end. I can share with you guys my coaching business simplified and that you should join it and how it's great and that we do co-working sessions and you get done for your bundles and you get coaching with me. You get a community of coaches that are absolutely kicking the butt and I'm not kidding about that. Right? I could do all that pitching. I can talk about that you get a bonus training when you sign up. And then when you sign up, it's only $7 for the first 30 days, like all of that. Okay. But I'm not going to do that. Awesome. Okay. So let's do this recap. Method one was the discovery call. I recommend this for people who are starting out. You are fresh, you're new, you have no clients. Do the discovery call. Okay. It is just the easiest way, and it's really a great way to get in touch with your people. Method two is invite only event. This is where you have slides and you teach your heart out and you pitch. I do recommend this for people who already have a little audience and that you're pitching a higher end offer than you normally would. Like you want to have a higher end offer or a special offer that tends to not be on your website. Okay. All right. So those are the two methods. Now, y'all, I had a great time sharing that with y'all. Like literally. And I can tell you honestly, there is no training like this online. And I'm giving this to you for free. So if you missed anything, you can go back and watch it. It will stay on my page, on my Facebook page. It will always stay on my YouTube channel as well. I love giving this information to you, and I love to see how um, you incorporate it. And I like to give you options. Like everyone who's on here is at different stages. Some of you, like I said, are just starting out, and some of you have been in the game for a little while, and you're looking for a new method or a fresh way, or just learn how I do it. Okay, that's why I'm here to do that for you. So, what do I have for y'all? Um, as a reminder, if you have not already, go and get your 30-day launch plan. This is going to set you up. Okay. I walk you through week one, do this, say this, do this. Week two, say this, do that. Week three, say this, do this, invite them here. And day four is the same thing. So the 30-day launch plan does talk about the invite only event. Okay. And you can look, I know I'm just talking. Woo, I'm just talking. Your invite only event doesn't necessarily have to be like the master class. Like where I put in the 30-day, I say invite only event. That could be you inviting people to your strategy session. Okay. So if you see that and you think, "Oh, she means that I have to do the webinar." No, you can flip it. You can change it and you can say it's your discovery call. You're inviting people to hop on a call with you. So you can replace that in the 30-day plan with the discovery call. Okay. All right. So what we got next week? Next week we're going to talk about the common mistakes new coaches make when starting their coaching business. Now you don't want to miss this because I'm going to be sharing the mistakes that I did. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be sharing the mistakes with you, but I'm also going to be sharing how not to make these mistakes as well. Okay? Y'all ain't got to make these mistakes. Because I'm gonna teach you how not to make the mistakes. All right. So, look, guys, I've had an awesome, awesome time with you today. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for the comments, the feedback, the excitement, sharing the comments, the laughs with me. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. And again, if you have not downloaded your launch plan, you want to go and do that right now. Right now. Go do that. Go to aliasmichelle.com/1 month. All right. You guys have an awesome and blessed day, and I'll be talking to you next week. All right. Peace out.